Right. So we are going to talk about New York and about Zoran Mamdani, whose true nature has been revealed. Beneath this fake smile and this woke posing lies someone who doesn't care so much about this. You may have known, but we are going to talk about him and how his true nature has been revealed, and it's what we all expected it to be. But before we say more about this, we have this course, Ancient Greek Virtue Ethics. Sign up for it. You can pay it in 3 installments, and also join our webinar, which is going to be tomorrow, Thursday at 6 p.m. UK time. It's going to be Luca and I'm going to talk to you about Plato's rejection of democracy, and I'm going to answer with Luca questions that concern themes that are related to the course.
Well, I'm going to definitely sign up for that because I've been thinking about it myself. Democracy is a bit shit. So if Plato also says it, I mean, that lends some real credence to it. So I'll definitely sign up for that.
You should sign up for this, and by all means, sign up for this and buy the course. It's a good investment if you want your intellectual horizons to expand and learn about ancient Greek ethical philosophy. Right, let's go to New York. New York is about to make a massive mistake.
Mm-hmm.
Some people think it deserves it. Other people don't.
I think Chesterton said that the greatest madness will not be coming from Moscow, but from Manhattan. And it's been proven absolutely true.
Right, so this huge mistake is going to be voting Mamdani for mayor of New York City. He is basically a Ugandan-born communist who masquerades as
an American,
a democratic socialist American. And he is playing the identity card, and he wants to appeal to all this woke salad. And he is playing all the identities. Jon Stewart here, who generally speaking supports people, who have crazy ideas. He says, you're a Muslim, a young person, a progressive, a democratic socialist. There are so many different communities that are looking to you. Now, when you have people playing all this card, all this card of mixed, incompatible identities, most probably they're lying. Right? It's like the woke lie that the groups that are the oppressed groups, according to the intersectional calculus, are compatible with each other, and they're just absolutely not. Islamists and the trans lobby have nothing in common. Also, radical feminists and have nothing in common with either of those groups. What the woke are doing is constantly create the illusion that all these identities are compatible, and every time where their incompatibilities become visible, they're inventing a common enemy in order to band them together, and this is the far-right extremist middle-aged white man.
I mean, it's interesting.
Right. By which they mean well-adjusted people.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so interesting watching New York. I mean, when I was a kid in the 80s, it was such an aspirational place. And ever since then, I've just watched it decline and decline and decline. And it looks like it's still got a lot further to go.
Yeah. Right. So Mamdani revealed his true nature in a debate with Andrew Cuomo and Curtis Sliwa. And he basically said, you haven't been to a mosque. That was one of his main arguments as to why Andrew Cuomo is not fit to be a mayor of New York. And let us play this.
Don't forget
the Democratic.
Sorry, brother Firas.
Sorry. After 9/11, the Muslims insisted on having a very high-profile Islamic center with a dominant place in New York City's skyline, and the city just let them do it. So essentially, in that perspective, 9/11 was a success.
Yes.
Now there is going to be a Muslim mayor of New York, again confirming that 9/11 was a success. I did a whole episode on the Muslim Brotherhood on Realpolitik, and they have a manual from the 1990s explaining how they will have to adjust their alliances and use the people that are destructive to the United States and to the West in general to destroy the West from within. And Mamdani is fully playing that role.
He's playing the Fabian society role in the US.
Yes.
He aligns himself with these forces. Let us listen to what he says here.
Primary for him to set foot in a mosque. He had more than 10 years, and he couldn't name a single mosque at the last debate we had that he visited. And what Muslims want in this city is what every community wants and deserves. They want equality and they want respect. And it took me to get you to even see those Muslims as part of this city. And that, frankly, is something that is shameful and is why so many New Yorkers have lost faith in this politics.
Yeah, except, that is totally false. I worked with the Muslim community for many years.
Name a single mosque you went to when you were the governor. Can you name a single mosque you went to in 10 years?
Before you were ever here.
Before I was here.
That is remarkable that you can't win an election in New York without being able to list off the names of the local mosques.
I mean, that's conquest.
We are talking about a debate about mayors, about the position of the mayor, and one of the points that are regularly coming up is you can't name a mosque you haven't visited the mosque. Right, so here we had Cuomo being very strong in this particular instance of the debate, because otherwise his campaign is generally considered to be a disaster, who basically he mentioned some of the good, some of the bad stuff about Mamdani, which are really, I'd say they're true, and this is what most boomers are going to listen to, but there is so much more that he isn't addressing. Let us listen to it.
No reason to believe you have any merit or qualification for 8.5 million lives. You don't know how to run a government, you don't know how to handle an emergency, and you've literally never proposed a bill on anything that you're now talking about in your campaign. You had the worst attendance record in the assembly, and you gave yourselves the highest raise in the United States of America. You went from $110,000 to $140,000, and then you never showed up for work, and you missed 80% of the votes. Shame on you. Shame on you.
Right, so I think basically he is giving forward some of the economic arguments. There are loads of other economic issues.
I think the big problem is that the guy is a foreigner, and foreigners shouldn't be in government. And I say this as a foreigner.
Right.
Well, and I've seen some of his politics, and it's basically like he's running for class president of some school or something. It's all like no homework. The vending machines are free, day off on Friday. I mean, it's all just completely unworkable socialist nonsense. But, I mean, beyond the level of socialist nonsense that you normally get, it's just fantasy socialism.
Exactly. Yep. It's the same garbage we hear from AOC.
Yeah.
And other...
Well, actually, AOC is rational compared to this guy. I mean, he's just making it up.
To be honest, I think he knows much better how to hide. And that's the issue. I think his identity is... He really was hiding it, but now we see what he really cares about. He constantly makes it about the Muslim community of New York. He says what the Muslim community wants. He says equality, respect, and all the leftist talking points. But all these are completely out of context.
And it's disingenuous, because Islam doesn't want equality. Islam wants to govern. The nature of Islam is that it's a religion that seeks temporal power.
And everyone who talks about democratic socialism doesn't know what they're talking about.
I do wonder if the New York's Jewish population are going to vote overwhelmingly Democrat this time again.
They're hugely supportive of him. There are very big chunks of the Jewish population of New York that are supportive of him, and a big chunk of his staff is Jewish.
Oh, right. Well, I'm sure that will work out for them.
Yeah.
Right. So there was another incident here that has reached infamy right now, because he talked about his aunt being basically the real victim of 9/11. That's what he wanted to say, because they gave her dirty looks for wearing a hijab.
Oh, right. So she wasn't in either of the two towers.
No.
She was wearing a hijab nearby.
Yeah.
And she's the real victim.
Yeah, but
okay.
Right. Dan, did you consider how the Muslims were going to feel about it?
I mean,
you considered about Islamophobia.
I mean,
exactly. He's doing the Norm Macdonald thing.
Yeah.
He's
but
doing the
unironically.
thing.
But let us look at what happened here.
I want to speak to the memory of my aunt. who stopped taking the subway after September 11th because she did not feel safe in her hijab.
Well, they found out that his aunt was living in Tanzania and did not wear hijab. Then he said basically afterwards that he was using this term in order to talk about the cousin of his father, and that in some areas of the world it's more customary to use this.
Okay. That part is true.
Yeah.
That part is true. But the Tanzania bit sort of is hilarious.
Right. So I accept this, and I do think that in some areas of the world there is more of an idea of an extended family, and they do this.
Yep.
But I think that what is most important here is the constant focusing of every event, including 9/11, and around Islamophobia.
Like the Muslims have perfectly adapted the left's perpetual victimhood narrative.
Yeah.
They've perfectly adapted to it. You have 9/11 and then this guy claims his aunt is the victim of 9/11. That's just so grotesque, but it's so in line with what we're seeing pretty much everywhere.
So at the risk of upsetting some of our American viewers, I do feel the need to sort of point this out. Whenever you comment on anything happening in Britain, you're guaranteed to get at least 30 to 300 posts underneath from Americans saying, well, you deserve this because you gave up your guns. If you had your guns, you wouldn't be getting taken over by Muslims. I mean, you get that comment all the time. It's like, well, okay, how do you explain this then? Because
there's a distinction between a hybrid war and an actual war. Most people, and that's why the Fabian Society has been so successful at disrupting and eroding the
institutions.
Because it's one thing to say you're getting attacked physically and you band together and you defend yourselves.
Yes.
It's quite another when you don't understand that you're being attacked.
Yes.
Because it happens slowly, and
it's a hidden war in which the elite are fully complicit and are siding with the enemy.
Exactly, and because we're creatures of habit, we are much more. We are very much prone to not notice small changes in a way, and sort of get very much accommodated to them. It's why right now the Tory party calls itself conservative, but it's arguably more left than Labour, because they slowly and steadily got adapted into the new reality, and they just woke up one day in a completely different world, being completely different, a completely different party,
and it's
a party that tries to out-left Labour.
Yep.
Right. We have here by Fox this political cartoon. Mamdani says, my aunt stopped taking the subway after 9/11 because she didn't feel safe wearing a hijab. That must have been devastating, Mr. Mamdani. My aunt stopped taking the subway after 9/11 because she was incinerated in the North Tower. This goes back to what Firas said before about victimhood. And here we have a savage post by James Woods. Not a rare thing. I say this. He basically shows victims from 9/11 and say, there's a difference there. There's of an order of magnitude.
Yes.
Respect to what happened. But there's another issue, because Mamdani has also a very problematic environment. It's not just him. It's not just him, a liar who's constantly smiling and faking it. It's just he has a really America-hating environment. Here's his father basically saying America is the root of all evil and was the inspiration for the Nazis. Hitler learned genocide from Abraham Lincoln. I'm sure Zoran loves America, though. Nice job, NYC. Now, I want to play this because I want to show the level of hatred for the US, but also the level of historical illiteracy. Let me play this.
America is the genesis of what we call settler colonialism. And the American model was exported all around the world. Abraham Lincoln generalize the solution of reservations. They herded American Indians into separate territories. For the Nazis, this was the inspiration. Hitler realized two things. One, that genocide was doable. It is possible to do genocide. That's what Hitler realized.
Apparently, there was no genocide before.
Second thing Hitler realized is that you don't have to have a common citizenship. You can differentiate between people. The Nuremberg laws were patterned after American laws. Anyway, the US put Indians in.
So, I mean, on that, okay, I mean, the first bit is nonsense about Abraham Lincoln. They got it from Woodrow Wilson, if anyone. But, I mean, the bit about the segregation, I mean, that is actually partially true. So the Nazis did send a committee over to meet with Woodrow Wilson's administration because they were like, okay, well, we got this Jewish problem and you seem to have the same problem with blacks and you seem to have come up with this segregation system. Let us learn from you what you're doing so that we can then take it back to Germany. So that part is kind of right, but it wasn't Abraham Lincoln. It was Woodrow Wilson, a Democrat.
Well, I think that, though, it's hardly true to say that this is the only society that ever practiced segregation.
That bit is nonsense.
And had...
read any part of Chinese history.
But this is the father of someone who is about to become mayor of New York and is playing the American identity and says he loves America.
But nevertheless, this kind of approach is going down gangbusters with leftists in America.
Yeah.
He took a selfie with an imam who was linked with the 1993 attack on the World Trade Center.
Oh, of course.
So this imam's children were all arrested on terrorism charges.
Right.
And let us listen to what he has to say about it. These are the kind of people that Zoran Mamdani is proud to take photos of himself with.
Because it's the American face. You get involved in politics because politics can be a weapon to use to aid the cause of Islam. It is an honor to die in jihad. Yes, it's an honor.
I want to defend this country. You know what this country is? It's a garbage can. It's filthy.
It's not particularly clean now that he's talking.
Every day they will go to school and they'll put an American flag in front of these little babies, Muslim babies. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands. Bullshit.
Right, so you get an idea.
I kind of feel compelled to bring up the Erdogan quote for the current president of Turkey. He said, "Democracy is a bus. You ride it until you get to the stop where you want to get off, and then you basically you're done with it."
That's always been the way of the Muslim Brotherhood. And that's always been the way of the Islamists. It's
the thing is, though, that this imam was at least honest.
Yeah.
But when people are honest and they call for jihad and they call for violent action, it's much easier to wake up and say, right, we need to do something about it and we need to stop this.
Yeah.
But that's why Mamdani has become a more mainstream figure. He wears this fake smile all the time. He constantly plays the woke card, but I'm not so sure that the people from his environment would be particularly happy or well disposed towards all the other woke identities or the other woke groups. So what he's doing is basically he is lying to people, and he is lying to them, and he's lying to really useful idiots like her who are saying to a post, "Do not vote for Zoran Mamdani" by Ben Freeman, "Too bad I did."
I mean, there is so much. I mean, I know that's just a picture of a face, but I mean that.
There's so many people who.
I mean, it is such a vapid, solipsistic woman.
Yeah, I'm voting for Mamdani to piss off my dad.
Not thought deeply about anything ever.
But thinks that she knows better than anyone else.
I don't even know she does think that she knows better than somebody else. She just likes the fact that she gets to be an affront to you.
Like he also lied with claiming that he never said that he wanted to defund the police. Please, woke poster boy. Come on. Eyal Jacobi has here also a collage of posts with Mamdani talking about defunding the haram police. And talking about defunding all the police so many times.
Defund the haram police, and queer liberation means defund the NYPD.
Yeah, because like Biden was saying, it's all connected, folks. Watch me. Right, so here in September 2023, he also said, we have to make clear that when the boot of the NYPD is on your neck, it's been glazed by the IDF. He's connecting law enforcement in New York with Middle Eastern politics and the relationships of...
That's his primary identity.
Yeah, so he's bringing everything down to it. So when Biden was saying everything is connected, of course not everything is connected, but they're using this everything is connected because the common denominator is the enemy. The common denominator is Western people and Western cultures, particularly the native. Behind all this nonsense of the woke identities and all the lying and all this, what is the common denominator is the enemy. It's Western society. So he shouldn't be voted there. He should be basically deported in wherever he came from. I think that's Uganda. People of the sort have zero business being in the Western world. No. And also, we don't want stupid people like her to be voting for him. So this should be a wake-up call. Just don't do it. And lots of polls are basically saying that he has a overwhelming support in the foreign-born community. The native-born community is much more supportive of Cuomo. And if we tie it together, the native-born community is 31% in favor of him, 65% in favor of them. The foreign-born are overwhelmingly supportive of them. So when we have mayors like people, aspiring mayors like Mamdani, and politicians like AOC who are constantly talking about illegals, more money for illegals, more voting power for illegals, that's their identity.
But I mean,
the common thing is the enemy. They want to destroy Western society. This sounds like a cliche, but it's a truth. It's true.
I mean, after 30 years of decline, New Yorkers are still not willing to give a right winger a try.
Yeah. That's the insane part. This is why deportations are so important.
And it looks like they're also not endorsing the Republican candidate, Curtis Sliwa, right now. Trump didn't endorse him. And they're basically thinking that there's no chance you're winning. So they're basically saying...
If this guy gets in, I mean, think of the number of terror cells that are going to be operating outside.
He is one of those activist people who are constantly talking about... They are the kinds of people who have the agenda Firas was talking about before.
Yeah. This guy makes
segment about Brazil
Khan look like a moderate.
So NYPD has one of the most important counterterrorism police forces in the world, which coordinates closely with the Metropolitan Police and with the FBI and with all kinds of international forces. They're really good, and they're really at the top of their game. Giving this guy control of that outfit is going to be a nightmare. It's going to be a nightmare. That's what he's going to do. He's going to use his control of the police to sort of further his own political interests. And his own political interests are Islamic first, leftist second, and primarily anti-American.
Well, I mean, well done.
And the issue
well
is
done,
not just Mamdani, because I can totally see Trump coming in and saying, right, I'm bringing in the National Guard, or I'm going to do something about it on the federal level in the same way he did it with mayors in other blue areas. The point is, what you said, it's the agenda behind the curtain.
Yeah.
Which is invariably anti-Western.
If you would like to watch the full uncut version that is also uncensored, head on over to lotuseaters.com to find out more.